Hi,
Welcome to
Smart and Wary. A topic in the morning, a very interesting topic. So the topic is it's fat and sad. You read a post, I guess.
yeah, like some pastor stated that fat and set is wrong because of the consequences that come with fat and set, and I argue that yes, it is wrong because if you're gonna decide you're moving in with someone who you're not married to, it's wrong before God, especially if you say that you believe in God. And my husband argued that yes, it's wrong, but people do it for different reasons. Please take us through.
Well, okay. Let me ask you, where does it say in the word?
It doesn't say that fat and set is wrong,
Yeah.
but Paul says that, but because there is so much sexual immorality, each man should have his own wife, and each woman should have her own husband. Yabo? Paul goes further and advises everyone. He says that, but I wish everyone were just single, just as I am. Yet each person has a special gift from God, of one kind or another. So I say to those who aren't married and to widows, it's better to stay unmarried, just as I am. But if they can't control themselves, they should go ahead and marry. It's better to marry than to burn with lust. This is what Paul says.
So what I'm getting here, Paul actually is trying to address the adultery and lust problem. Actually, getting married is to him addressing the problem of adultery. Because when you go here to 7 verse 2, but because there is so much sexual immorality, each man should have his own wife and each woman should have her own husband.
Yes.
And then when it comes here, it says on 8 it says if it's better to stay unmarried just as I am, but if they can't control themselves, it means he controlled himself from lust. He didn't lust. He didn't. Wow, it's interesting. So
when we also speak about lust, we're also speaking about sex before marriage. It's wrong before God.
Yes.
Sexual immorality. Maybe we need to define what that is.
Well, like to me, how I actually understand it is that having sexual intercourse, it means with multiple partners or even. Well, my question is, if we are dating together and we love each other,
sex before marriage is wrong.
So so I regard that because you are not married, you're not recognized as husband and wife by God, then whatever sex you have in culture or in whatever thing that you are in, it's actually sexual immorality.
It's wrong before God.
Yes. So this is not a topic more about
sexual immorality,
but it led to that because I mean when you go to the scriptures, the most important thing is to actually avoid sexual immorality, to have a wife and then to have a husband on the other side.
Yeah, this came from unpacking fat and sets, because you know that when you guys move in together without being married, you are obviously going to have sex, which is wrong before God, because you're not recognized as one. So that's just how we got to sexual immorality, if you're just confused on like how we got here.
Yes. So the most important thing we're here to uncover is that basically the causes of even if there are reasons, basically the causes behind fat and sad, where some families become difficult. Maybe they never understand the situation of a guy. Maybe the guy is very poor, but instead of saying, okay, how much does he get? So how do we make sure how much can he make? And of course, like parents are protective.
Yes.
Do they want to see a daughter get married to a poor guy who has no direction in life? It's quite complicated. But then if parents understand you and then they discuss this, okay, they do the lobola thing. We're not saying we're banishing lobola, but the lobola with a mentality of getting money. When you get a daughter, it's not like you're striking a lotto or something. you are getting a gift from God, and if he wants to move on and make family with someone else, you need to make sure you make it right for her because you love her as a father or the mother. So this cultural marriage, which is lobola, was not meant basically to be what it is today. But at the same time, is we need to learn to recognize that being seen as husband and wife
It's more important.
it's more important from God. So that's the reason why we got married, because we knew that eventually this thing was gonna bite us. So we decided to do the lobola thing, and because it united the families.
Yeah, and we got blessed. So it was not like it was not like a white wedding and fancy things. No, the fundamental thing here was just lobola and us saying our vows before God and getting blessed so that God sees us as husband and wife. Because so many times people just do the lobola and they actually forget to dedicate their relationship to God or their marriage to God, and it backfires
Yeah.
as time goes on, because God is like, okay, you guys did it the cultural way, but the question is, was I involved? No, you did not involve God in what you were doing. You guys did not go before God and say your vows. And would just like to encourage young people into this whole blessing thing, that even if you don't have money, for instance, if you guys maybe just, if your partner just had money for lobola, it shouldn't stop you from going to church to do your vows. You don't need to be fancy to do your vows. You guys can design something simple. You can even wear a dress, anything you feel comfortable in, and just go to a pastor and ask them to bless your union so that God recognizes you guys as one, and you guys can go sign. It's very cheap.
So I have a lovely question for you, my wife. Okay, let's say me and you don't get to pay the walla, and we decide to go to church and say our, yes, and say our vows. Say that the families are angry and they want lobola, and then we are recognized as husband and wife now because we said our vows and everything like that. And then tell me, in that sense, how do we?
Sure, that's a bit difficult because I would have done it without my parents' knowledge, or maybe them being against it. We're not saying that it's a bad thing, but we're just saying that if you're an African, you need money to get married. You cannot get married without money. For instance, if it was easier, I mean, a lot of people would just wake up, hey babe, when I get married,
Yeah.
let's go to Pastor Sam, and Pastor Sam will, bless us. You can't do that. You need to first go through the whole lobola thing, just like a whole long process that goes on. And from there on, you guys can be like, okay, let's go to the pastor and get blessed. It's not like we wake up, hey babe, we're getting married, and let's go tell the pastors we are ready.
Most of our families, black people, are cultural, and the culture is the most important thing. Not everyone in your family is a Christian, and not everyone is going to understand that. Well, they allow their kid to be husband and wife without the lobola and everything and all the cultural things that have to take place. So just because you honor them and you want peace between the families, because it's gonna be very awkward, because you're gonna be like a reason why people say we hate Christianity. So pray about it, ask the Holy Spirit, and then He will tell you that no, do it. Sometimes God will allow you to do some things that
don't make sense to us.
Yeah, just because he understands that there might be a lot of frustrations between you guys, because the most important thing is that there's peace. So I must be in peace when I visit
my family.
You understand? So you must be in peace as well when you visit. So okay, let's say now we claim that so we're Christian, we put God first and everything like that, but then we have anger on both families and all that stuff.
It's not gonna work too well.
Let's say you decide to leave home and you don't care about their lobola and you decide to stay with me. You don't tell me after 5 years and force me to get married. You left home. I mean.
But I came to. Why didn't you stop me when I came to you?
Of course, maybe that time people change over time. Let's say that time I was selfish before I got cancelled, like from that selfishness. Well, yes, I wanted you to be with me by the side, but you actually made it a point that you leave your parents when they said don't leave, and you left. You took your bags literally to stay with me
because I love you.
You understand? Yes, but then you don't say, yeah, you know what, like right now, yes, like do it now or whatever. Well,
But I understood then that you don't have money, and we're in a long distance. You're in Cape Town, and I'm in Pumalanga. What must happen to our relationship?
what do you think your family is gonna say when they see me coming after 5 years? Saying they're gonna make, you know, some families, man, like you can anger them like that. You will pay fine. There will be other things unless we really have a lot of money. So don't even begin to run away from home. I'm especially
That's good
warning
advice.
ladies: do not leave home. Talk to your parents. Ask them very well. Talk to them, man. Even if it takes you 5 months, explain to them your situation and why do you think this is the right guy, and then pray to God about it. He's gonna help you through that. But the most important thing, you leave your home, you lower that yourself. Culturally, you've lobola yourself. You went there, you fat and sad, and then when the guy doesn't want to pay the lobola, remember not to blame him. You actually left your parents. I don't care if it's because of love, because love is the most important thing that keeps people together, yes. But the most important thing is, yes, make sure you don't make a mistake. But then let's say, man, you have a drunkard mom and a crazy dad, and they're really crazy. And I don't mean like I'm as disrespectful, but mental illness. They beat each other all the time. They don't support you, and when you talk to them about these things, they're running rampant around, and then you're supposed to be with the guy, with the Joe. What do you do at that time? Do you understand? Sometimes you are forced in this situation. I'm not saying we are perfect because we got married. Sometimes some things will force you, like. So I'm saying I blame them, but I'm not actually pointing a lot of fingers. So people actually are in there. But just like Paul, I would recommend everyone to get married, and for their peace and for against sexual morality. So they become one with someone, and then they live in a God's covenant way on getting married. So for that sake, I would also recommend that.
Can I just also add, um, I've heard people say, okay, older people than me tell me that just don't settle with a guy and make yourself his wife, because he'll be so comfortable that when you remind him that he needs to marry you, he won't. I mean, there'll be nothing that motivates him because you already do all the wife duties. You know, he'll even tell you that, no, like, why should I? I mean, we are comfortable, we are together, your family doesn't mind. But at that time, every time you go home, your mom is like, Auntie, umuntu wako, when is your person coming through for lobola? You know, so don't do it. He advised you properly that if your parents are against it, don't go. Like, stay at home until everything is done properly.
Yes, it's unfortunate, but then at the end of the day, do your heart and pray to God, and God is going to lead you.
God is going to lead you.
Some of the things I can tell you not to do because are recommendations. I'm not saying this is a commandment or this is a word. Even the word doesn't force you to get married to a person, but it is better to get married and to be. It's better actually to be single. That's
what Paul says.
Yes, but if you know how to control yourself from adultery, because adultery is going to break you. Let's say you're a guy and you're done from the university and you're single. My guy, your money and sleeping around with girls, it's just going to make your life very difficult because of adultery. It's not because of other things. Because if you can control yourself, I mean, you can stay alone and be in peace, basically. But if you know that you cannot control yourself, get married because you're going to have kids there and there and there. You know what you're going to do? You're going to punish those kids. They're going to leave fatherless, and
it's going to affect their well-being a lot.
Exactly. So it's very important that you get married. It's just not, it's for the security of yourself and your life and your sexual life, your spiritual life, and your kids, if you happen to be blessed at that time. So girls, be very careful about this. A guy loves you, you work with him to help you. I mean, you ask him to sit down and actually try to figure out a plan with you so you can get that lobola money paid. You talk down your family. I mean, I think this is the best recommendation I can ever give you.
Yes.
There's no better than that.
And save up. If you guys want a white wedding, save up for it and do the wedding of your dreams when you're ready. Don't do it because you're under pressure and you're trying to prove a point to my family that, oh my gosh, we can afford a venue that's super expensive. Let's blow 200,000 on a wedding. Don't do it if you're not ready. What's important is if your parents require lobola, follow that procedure, pray about it, talk to your parents about it, and get blessed after you're lobolad. Then you can move in and You can move in as husband and wife, and you can continue with life. If you guys feel like maybe we need another celebration, save up for it and do it. Be happy if it makes you happy. So do things that God leads you to do. Don't do things to make the society respect you or the society happy. Because at the end,
don't do it for the instas.
Yeah, do it, be realistic, and do it for yourselves.
Yeah. Okay, guys, thank you very much. This is one of the topics we talk about. If you have any comment and you have anything that you would like to ask, or you have any situation,
or please engage.
Yes, you can talk to us. So we'll give you our email address. If you have other questions that you think they are private to you and you want us to actually help you through it, just let us know. Pop us an email, and please comment, share, and subscribe.
Thank you. Bye.